Good morning. A good workout plan today. So we're going to be working a lot more on pulling movements today. So a little bit more back, some glutes and hamstrings, and then ending out with some core. We're going to do 3 rounds today, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds rest. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with our demos, and then we'll get right into the circuit. So I do always recommend having 2 sets of dumbbells, but if you only have 1, no problem. We can do all of that with just 1 dumbbell today. So starting off here, we're going to do a bent over row, but we're going to alternate. We're going to do 1 arm at a time. We're also going to hold for 3 seconds at the top. So we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart. We're pinching our shoulder blades like we're squeezing an orange in the middle of our back. Push those hips back. 1 arm at a time, we're going to pull the hand towards the butt and back down, and then the other arm, and then holding again 3 seconds and back down. So we really want to squeeze through the armpit, just like we are holding a piece of paper in between our arm and our body. So that's kind of the feeling that we want to feel there. And then after that, we're going to do some Romanian deadlifts. And for this, we're going to pause. I'm sorry, I'm not pausing. We're going up very slow. So we're going to do 1 second down, 3 seconds up. So regular RDL stance, again, feet hip width apart. Push the hips back like we're closing the door with our butt. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3 on the way up. So push the door closed, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be our second movement. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and lay on the ground here on our backs. And we're going to do some overhead pulls. So for this one, we're going to be on the back. Hands are going to start above our shoulders, pressing that belly button into the ground. We're going to reach overhead as far as we can without our back lifting off the ground. Then we're going to squeeze through the armpits again and pull back up. So we're coming down as close to the ground as we can without our back coming up, and then squeezing, coming back to that starting position. So this is going to work on our back and our lats. We're going to feel that all through here. And then after that, we're going to stand up, and then we're going to get back on the ground. So a little bit of up and down today, but we could all use it, right? So then what we're going to do next is curtsy lunges here. So we're going to alternate side, one-legged, not one leg. We're going to alternate here. So we're going to take 1 foot back over across. Hips are forward. So we got headlights on our hips, blind the camera, coming down, and then to the other side. So knee over the second toe, chest over the arch of the front foot, pushing through heel, big toe, little toe. Gonna feel that in the glutes. And then we're gonna go ahead and then get back on the ground, of course. And first thing we're gonna do some dead bugs with our core assist. So dumbbells above the shoulders, knees above the hips, belly button into the ground. We're going to extend out. We're going to hold for 3 seconds. Come back in. So coming out. 1, 2, 3. Exhale and back in. So that's going to be our first core exercise. And then we're going to do some single leg lowering, again with a core assist. So hands still above the shoulders, coming down with 1 leg. Exhale, coming up. Coming down, using the core, and coming back up. So that's going to be our whole circuit today. So we can go ahead and get started with our warm up. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch. We're going to open up our hips, our back. We're going to do it all. So we're going to start in the top of our space. We're going to interlace our fingers. We're going to grab onto the right knee and pull towards the chest. We're going to do a nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, stepping back into a reverse lunge. Back leg stays nice and straight. Hands inside of that front foot. And we're going to take a nice big deep breath here. And we're exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling, gazing past our thumb. And we're going to do a nice big deep breath. And we're exhaling, planting our hand outside of our front foot. And we're going to push our hips up into a nice hamstring stretch. Nice big deep belly breath. Feel that low back expand. And exhaling, bringing our feet together. And we're going to stand on up. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other leg. So we're gonna take a deep breath. We're gonna interlace those fingers, grab onto the left knee. Hugging that knee as tight as we can. And exhale, step back into the reverse lunge. Again, back leg stays nice and straight. Hands on the inside of the front foot. Nice big deep belly breath. And exhale, opening up towards our right leg this time. Gazing past the thumb. Nice and straight. We want a nice big T from one hand to the other fingers. Nice big deep breath. And we exhale, plant the hand outside of the front foot. Push ourselves up into the hamstring stretch. Nice big deep breath. And we're gonna exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get on the ground on the hands and knees. We're gonna do a little bit more rotation. So we're gonna be reaching through. So we're gonna take the right hand here. We're gonna inhale, reach through in between the left arm, left leg, getting that back nice and warmed up. And exhale, bring the hand towards the ceiling. And we're gonna inhale, reach through. And exhale, open up. And we're gonna do one more, reaching through. And exhale, opening up. And we can go ahead and return our right hand back up under the shoulder. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And inhale, reach through. And exhale, opening up. And one more, reaching through. And exhale, opening up. Then we can go ahead and plant that hand back up underneath the shoulder. And we are ready to rock and roll. So again, we're going to do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Going to go through that 3 times through. So we're getting our dumbbells ready. We got alternating bent over rows. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we got both the dumbbells here. We're pushing our hips back, closing that door. One hand coming up. We're holding for 3 seconds at the top. Back down. Keeping our hand outside of our legs. So from this angle, we're coming up. 1, 2, 3. And then again, squeezing through the armpit, holding 3 seconds. We also want to make sure we're looking down towards the ground. So we want a nice straight spine from our hips to our neck. So if we want to pretend like we're holding the tennis ball underneath the chin. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we have Romanian deadlifts. So we're going down, regular, and then we're going to come up, taking 3 seconds on the way up. 3, 2, 1. So we're keeping that pelvis tucked, so butt to belly button. Push the hips back, and then push the ground away. 1, 2, 3. So we really want to push through the heel, big toe, little toe. Push the ground away, just like if we were squatting. That's what's going to help us activate our glutes, our hamstrings, and moving nice and slow. We're getting a little bit more engagement and recruitment of our muscle fibers. So it's going to help us get a little bit stronger through the lower body when we start to switch up some tempos. Exhaling as we come up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we're on the ground, on our backs. We have our overhead pulls. So we're going to have our hands directly above the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. So hands are up, coming up above the head. If we can touch the ground without our low back coming off the ground, that is fantastic. The minute we start to feel our low back come off, that's when we're going to come back up. The movement is over. when we start to arch our back, it really puts our low back in a position where we are using it versus keeping that core nice and tight. Don't want to aggravate any low back tightness or anything. We really just want to use our lats or the upper back more so to pull the weight back in. 3, 2, 1. All right, getting back up. We got curtsy lunges. We're going to alternate. Getting ready, and this is where we do have 2 sets of dumbbells. Let's grab a heavier one for this one. 3, 2, 1. So stepping back behind diagonal, hips are forward, knee over the second toe, chest over the arch of the front foot. So keeping that chest slightly forward is going to have that glute engagement. If we are straight up, we're going to come back too far. We're going to feel that all in our back quad versus the front leg. So that's why we want that slight bend forward at the hips. But again, keeping that core nice and tight. So we're slightly forward. We're not bending here. That back is not rounded or anything. So we have just a slight hinge of the hip. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are ready to get back on the ground. We have dead bugs, core assist, holding for 3 seconds at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so extending out, holding for 3 seconds. Excellent, coming back in. So when we're pulling that knee back in, I want us to imagine that we have a zipper at the bottom of the core. We're zipping our core up, which has a string attached to the end, and that's pulling the knee in. So our core is doing the work, our legs are not. Otherwise, we're going to feel that in our quads and in our hips. We're not actually going to get stronger through the core. So we have string at the end of the zipper, zipping the core up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think my core is still tired from last week, honestly. All right. Next up, we have single leg lowering with the core assist still. 3, 2, 1. So both feet in the air, dumbbells above the shoulders, lowering again as far as we can without that low back coming off the ground. So we want to tuck the pelvis, keep our belly button pushed into the ground. The minute our low back comes off the ground is when we stop moving that leg. So the movement is done. We're returning to our starting position. Exhaling when we come up helps us activate that, keep that core activated. Again, we're zipping the core up. String at the end of the core is tied to our feet. 3, 2, 1. All right, that is 1 round down. We got 3 to go. So we're gonna go ahead, stand back up. We got our bent over rows, alternating. 3, 2, 1. So keeping that core nice and tight. So butt to belly button, pushing the hips back, pulling towards the butt, holding 3 seconds, back down. If we imagine we have a plane of glass going across our back, we want to break the glass with our elbow and then hold again for 3 seconds. So we're coming up. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Great job. Really sinking into those hips so we're not feeling that pressure in the low back. Just really drive those heels into the ground. Keep those glutes engaged. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have Romanian deadlifts, pushing through the ground with those feet, coming up for 3 seconds. Get nice and strong with this one. 3, 2, 1. So our core is nice and tight, butt to belly button. Push the hips back, close that door. 1, 2, 3. And keeping our upper back nice and flat as well. And keeping those dumbbells as close to the legs as we can. When those dumbbells get too far out, you notice the minute I did that, my hips are not driving back, my back is rounded, not a good position to be in. But if we keep those dumbbells nice and close, push the hips back, like again, we're pushing a door closed, we got groceries in our hands, pushing the ground away, coming up for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Right, on the ground, we got our overhead pulls. So we're gonna get ready with our dumbbells above our head. 3, 2, 1. So we're coming up over our head. If we can tap the ground without without our back coming off the ground, that's our goal here. Again, pulling through, squeezing through the armpits, but also keeping that core nice and tight. Great job. Exhaling as we engage the muscles always helps with more explosiveness. Really want to squeeze those armpits. Feels different this time. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're coming back up. We got curtsy lunges. And then we got our 2 core movements, and then we got 1 more round, and then we're gonna cool down, and we're gonna be on with the rest of the day. 3, 2, 1. So back, behind, diagonal, hips forwards. We got those headlights on our hips. Blind the camera, knee past our second toe, chest over the arch of the front foot. Pushing through heel, big toe, little toe. And also making sure to, kind of like what I was talking about last time, if our chest is too far up, but also if we step too far back, that is all the back leg that we're feeling. We want the front leg to be the leg that we're using to push back up. So if we have a smaller step, chest slightly forward, that's going to help us get that glute engagement. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are on the ground. Dead bugs, core assist, 3-second hold. 3, 2, 1. So hands directly above the shoulders, knees above the hips. Coming out, 1, 2, 3. Exhale back in. So we got 1, 2, 3. Again, driving that belly button into the ground, keeping that pelvis tucked. Zipper on the core attached to our feet. Pull the feet back in, zipping the core up. Hopefully that imagery is helpful. Oh, I didn't hold for 3 seconds. All right, we got this. We got this. Keep pushing. We're doing great. Use that core. Holding for 3, 2, 1. All right. Goodness, my core, I swear it's still sore from last week. Okay. Single leg lowering with the core assist. 3, 2, 1. So again, hands above the shoulders, belly button into the ground, zip the core up, pull the leg with it. So especially with these ones, I find it very common to have the low back coming off the ground. Gosh, I can't even see that one because I'm wearing too much black. If the low back is off the ground when the leg is down, that means we go until we feel that low back coming up. The other common thing is using the legs to pull our legs back up, and we're going to get some nice hip tightness from that. So if we're feeling our hips are lit up, really focus, don't go down as far, really use the core to come back up. So work on that core engagement. 3, 2, 1. All right, last round here coming up. Bent over rows, 3-second hold at the top, alternating. 3, 2, 1. Coming up, we got 1, 2, 3, and back down. So really keep that core tight, push those hips back. If you need to reset yourself like I just did, please do that to make sure that we are keeping our form and that we're not feeling it in the low back. So drive those heels into the ground. If you need to stand up, kind of twist it out, shake it out. Try and go right back into it. That is why we did a lot of rotation before this circuit started, because that's going to help us just kind of open up the spine, open up the back. We're definitely going to end with lots of rotation as well today. 3, 2, 1. For sure, we're going to end with pretzel. So I'm going to secret cats out of the bag. We're doing pretzel for our cool down. So that's what we got to look forward to after this. RDLs, 3, 2, 1. So whole foot on the ground, push those hips back, keep those dumbbells as close to our legs as we can. Push the hips back. 1, 2, 3. Coming back up. Great job. Keeping that core tight. Squeeze the orange between the shoulder blades. Exhale as we come up. Keeping that pelvis tucked, keeping that core locked in. I know we're maybe a little bit tired. We've done a lot of core today, but really try and keep that engaged the whole time. That's going to help with our form and our low back. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those. Always love doing some Romanian deadlifts. All right, we got overhead pulls. Belly button into the ground. 3, 2, 1. Coming up over the head. Exhale, coming back. So for this one too, you can either hold your dumbbells together or you can hold them separately. Separately makes it a little bit harder because we got to control the weight with each hand a little bit separately. This one, I believe, does lead to more stability, more engagement, as well as working both of our arms simultaneously a little bit better versus here, one weight, one side might be a little bit stronger, one might be a little bit less dominant. And when that happens, that stronger side still will take over versus if we hold them separately apart, each arm is working more independently. 3, 2, 1. All right, getting up, curtsy lunges, and then we got our core movements, and then we're going to do some pretzel, and then we're going to be done with the circuit and with the workout class. 3, 2, 1, whatever you want to call it. That's what we'll go with. So again, headlights blind, the camera from the hips, and keeping that chest slight bend forward, keeping that step a little bit closer than we think we need to, keeping our weight centered. Lots of glutes, lots of back today with the RDLs, with these curtsy lunges, and with our rows. Lots of core as well. So we're getting all of that pulling movements in today. We did lots of pushing the last few weeks. 3, 2, 1. All right. On the ground, we're going to take a quick nap and then we'll be done. Just kidding. We got dead bugs, core assist. Hold for 3, 3, 2, 1. All right. Coming out, we got 1, 2, 3. Exhale, zipping that core up, bringing the legs with it, making sure that belly button stays locked into the ground. The minute you feel your back start to come up or your ribs towards the ceiling, that's when we want the leg to stop coming down. We can always change our range of motion, go within what feels good for us today, especially on this third round. We really want to push, keep that form. We're tired. We've done it a few times. Really important to keep that mind to muscle connection. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement here. Single leg lowering with the core assist. Maybe was a little bit mean here. 3, 2, 1. With all the core assists we got going on today, we're doing great. Keep pushing here. Pulling, zipping that core up. We're finishing strong. We did a lot of core things today. Doing some bent over movements also works the core and really the pillar, shoulders, hips, torso. It's the pillar. So that's what we're working here today. When we say the torso, it's not just our superficial six pack. This is not what this is going to help with. This is going to help with our core control, helping our spine health, helping with our stability here. 3, 2, 1. That is going to be it for today's circuit. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. If not, we're going to be on the ground. We're going to be on our side. We're doing some bretzel. So when we're ready, we're going to be on the ground on one side. So you can choose whichever side you'd like. If you need to grab a pillow or something for your head, feel free to grab it. What we're going to do, we're going to take that top leg. We're going to come up, over and across, knee and ankle on the ground. Bottom hand on top of the knee. Top hand, keeping that leg right underneath us. We're going to grab onto our foot or ankle of the bottom leg. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale. Opening up, goodness, towards the ceiling. All right. I'm tight this morning. I don't know about anyone else, but I think that means we really need it. We're slowing the breath down. Nice big deep belly breaths. Nice long slow exhales. It's going to help us open up our back, our upper back, our lower back, get our spine going. Also stretching out the bottom quad of the bottom leg. And maybe a little bit into our front glutes, or the leg of the glutes of the leg that is in front. Okay, got the words out. Relaxing into the stretch with each exhale. We're going to do one more deep breath. And when we're ready, after that exhale, we can gently release the bottom leg. Return to our sides. We can go ahead and you can roll over, flip over, whatever feels good for you. We're going to do the other side. So we got the same checklist here. Top leg is going to come up, over, and across. Bottom hand on the top knee. Top arm grabs onto bottom foot or ankle. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. I must be very tight today because normally at least one shoulder is closer to the ground. So that's what we want to aim for. This is partially why I do like to do this as a cool down a lot. We're just opening everything up. The more we do it, the more mobile our spine is going to get, the more mobile we're going to feel. And that's just going to help us by working on it, getting that top shoulder closer and closer to the ground. Inhaling through the nose into the belly. Exhaling through the mouth, sighing away the tension. What might help too, if you're feeling a little tight or a little stressed today, you can like verbally sigh. By verbally sighing, it can kind of help calm down our nervous system even more. So we can kind of inhale and then sigh and just let it out. We're just letting it out this morning. One more big deep breath. And once we finish that last exhale, feel free to release that top leg. And you're more than welcome to keep laying on the ground, or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time for total body strength today. So nice job. Thank you so much for joining me. Probably we'll see all of y'all tomorrow morning. We got sports performance, mindset reset. So we'll even reset a little bit more, get ready for the day, the weekend, all that good stuff. So thank you both. Nice job. And I'll see y'all soon. We do also got a full class schedule coming up, so you can always check out SharePoint for that. If you just type in Exos at Autodesk into a SharePoint. And we also have the Design to Run race. So that is coming up. We got a couple more weeks left to register. In person is on the 26th here in San Rafael. And then we got our virtual race from the 20th to the 31st. So please let me know if you have any questions. Again, you can register also on SharePoint. So everything is up on SharePoint. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all soon.